I made a video recently about the top expat countries in 2025, and I had some major problems with this list. A lot of people actually disagreed with me. I got some thumbs down on the video, but I still think my points are valid. And I think most of the people that didn't like it are big fans of Panama. And if you don't know, check out my other video, but this article, I didn't make this article, listed Panama as the #1 destination for expats in 2025. And I particularly disagree with that for good reasons, I think. But actually, I think I was a little bit too hard on Panama because I've spent some time in Panama, and it's actually a really good destination for expats. They do a lot of things right, and particularly in the visa situation, they have all kinds of visas, and you can say they're long-term on a tourist visa, but their residency, retirement visas are easy to get. They have an investment visa. But the problem with it for me is that it feels like I'm in America. And when I think about being an expat and going and living abroad, I don't really want to live in a place that feels very similar to Florida. And that's just a personal thing. I like a different cultural experience. And yeah, it is South America. They speak Spanish there. They speak a lot of English there. But it's, almost US prices. There's a lot of things there. It feels like I'm being in America. It's easy to get products. America has a presence there. There's a ton of expats there. But, it's kind of expensive. And to me, it just feels like Florida. And by the way, it's one of the hottest places I've ever been. But for guys that really just want that comfort feeling, that feeling like I'm in America, then, go for Panama. But I prefer Costa Rica over that. And that leads me to my point about that article is it was missing some of the top expat destinations weren't even in the article. So I don't know how you can come up with a list of, the best countries and worst countries when you're not including Costa Rica, Dominican Republic, Argentina, and countries like Cambodia and Laos. It was missing a lot of other countries. So how can you put together a real list if it's not even gonna have some of those top destinations in it? And I have a dear friend that lives in Panama and he loves it. He got tired of the Philippines, worn out there right after COVID, and went down to Panama and has been happily ever after. He really likes it. But my experience there was you go out to eat in Panama and it's $20 to eat. They do use the US dollar, which is kind of nice. And there's a ton of direct flights getting back to North America. So it's a decent destination for Americans and Canadians. But when I think about expats, I'm really thinking about a lot of Europeans. I'm thinking about Australians, Irish guys, New Zealand, and they're not gonna go out to Panama. They're gonna go to Southeast Asia, which is my preferred destination. Region of the world is Southeast Asia. And big downsides there is I don't get to watch my sports. I'm a big NFL and college football guy, and it's a hard to get back home for holiday season. There's people that I love and care about in America, and you are really far away when you're in Southeast Asia. So Panama wins in those categories. But I would love to hear your guys' opinion on that. Is Panama #1 for you? And tell me why. Drop a comment. But for me, it's down a little bit, outside of the top 5.